Young American Films, El Product de Mexico. The Show-Off, the Kim Kardashian story. Tonight, we find out who is the final Centron. And it's not that character we killed last season, because that would be a total chip. Meanwhile, at the School for the Performing Arts is seen in the motion picture Fame. Duck and cover, everyone! Duck and cover, under your desk. Where are you going? Fine, die. See if I care. Kay, class dismissed. Kay? Someday a moody vampire will fall in love with me. Oh.
My name's Kay Reynolds. I know you and I go to different schools, but I think we have the same kind of problems.
Herpes?
This year, our class is in a terrible fix. And I thought if I could tell you about it, maybe you could help us.
Look, lady, I got my own problems. Go to hell.
Well, let's see. Why, we could start right here in this class. I remember it was just about a month ago, and Miss Baldwin was reviewing a...
Yeah, that's great, but I'm just here for the track meet. I don't...
We'll deal with the feudal system in Europe. Now, you'll find this material on page 106 through 136.
And a young Miss Hathaway is targeted by bullies.
Yes, Miss Baldwin?
Put it down, please.
Put what down, Miss Baldwin?
Jim.
Yes, Miss Baldwin, all right.
The next part of our quiz will deal with the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. First, we will review the...
Flame it, I even though... No, ow!
Well, Miss Baldwin, this chair just suddenly collapsed with me.
Frank, help him up.
Thank God those periodicals were there to cushion his fall. Good thing they held class in this drugstore.
This going to school is getting me pretty dangerous, you know.
Jim! We can't have any more of this. If you can't settle down and act your age, then I'll have to ask you to leave the room.
Well, Miss Baldwin, I haven't done anything. The chair just fell over with me. I don't see how that's my fault.
That's enough, Jim.
That chair is crummy workmanship. I'd sue.
Jim Brewster was like that.
He had a compulsive need to be a dick.
He was really a pretty smart boy, I guess. But there was just something in him that made him always want to be the center of attention.
I blame his dead mother.
Oh, I suppose some of us did secretly admire him for doing the things he did and still staying out of trouble, even though he did interfere with classwork.
There's a Richard Nixon joke in here somewhere, but where?
At first, what he did seemed amusing. But as time went on, well, let me tell you what happened next. It was the time of year for the junior class play tryouts. Most of the kids had been weeded out, and only the ones who were being considered for parts were there.
It's called an audition, honey.
Surprised to see Jim Brewster?
I'm surprised to see
Jim
young
had
Lyle
talent.
Lovett there.
For a
Wow!
while, we thought Mrs. Jackson was going to give him the lead. Mrs. Jackson directed the junior play, and she did it afternoons after school, on her own time. Sometimes I suspect it tired her out.
All right, let's take the living room scene in Act 2. Harry, you read the part of Henry Carter.
Well, this is the break I've been waiting for my whole life. Thank you.
Where are we supposed to start, Miss Jackson?
Well, you can start with Henry's speech there on the top of page 34.
Look, Lorna, it's all right with me.
And a young Christopher Walken gets his start. Lana, it's all right with me.
Henry, you know there's no one but you. The others are just faces. They don't mean a thing. Henry, do I really mean so much to you?
Am I supposed to do what it says here?
Yes, go ahead.
Why does she sound so horribly disappointed?
You mean everything to me.
He's having a seizure. Hold him down.
Jim, you seem to think you can read this scene so well. Let's see you try it. Thanks, Harry. Marie, you'll read the lines with Jim.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Look, Lorna, it's all right with me if you see other men, but sometimes I think...
Henry, you know there's no one but you.
Jim, that'll be enough, Jim. George, will you read the lines with Marie?
Hey, I'm really sorry. Hey, guys, don't laugh. Come on, don't laugh. Whatever you do next, do not laugh.
Look, Lorna.
Oh, for fun.
I don't think we'll go on with tryouts this afternoon.
Next on TMZ, this director storms off her set.
What do you know? Tryouts are over already.
Well, what did you expect, funny boy?
I'm telling Jethro, he'll beat your ass.
Jim's wise guy behavior was beginning to wear a little thin with those of us who were exposed to it. Poor Mrs. Jackson, who already had a headache, just couldn't take the one that Jim was creating for her. And so, the class play got off to a poor start.
The cosplay got off to a poor start? What, were they all dressed like French maids?
It seemed as though he just couldn't stop until he'd finally gotten us all in a bad light.
A comedian named Jim who can't make people laugh? Now, is his last name Carey or Belushi?
And they were just serving refreshments.
After a hard day's work, the kids from Hooray for Everything tend to relax in style. Anyone care for a snifter of port?
I'll bet you can. I'll just bet you can't do it.
I bet I can.
I don't think you can.
Okay, just walk.
Huh. Hey, who else here expected the plant to die?
Maybe I hadn't better.
I told you couldn't do it.
All right, I'll show you.
Oh, this will finally win me friends. And ah!
Oh, my best glass!
Right. I told you you couldn't do it.
Definitely Jim Belushi.
Well, what's the matter? It's not the end of the world. I'll buy you some more glasses, Miss Harvey. Like you getting clumsy or something?
You tripped me.
Oh, I'm just sick about this glass and never will be able to replace it.
I'm sorry, Mother.
I don't know why you used your good crystal when you knew those young roughnecks were coming.
Oh, I wouldn't call them all roughnecks.
Well, a bunch of smart alecks then.
You know, dumbasses.
Most of the kids acted all right, and Jim and Frank didn't mean to break the glass.
Well, maybe not. But it makes you wonder about kids nowadays. In my day, when you were invited to a party, everybody was supposed to act like ladies and gentlemen.
And furthermore, hey, don't you fade out on
You
me!
can see how things were going. At first, it was just acting silly, when most of us really wanted to review for that quiz.
Dramatic pause.
And then the teachers began to think of us as that class,
Dramatic pause.
because of the nuisances that some of the kids were making of themselves.
Dramatic pause.
And after the party,
Dramatic pause.
well, some of the parents began to wonder too.
Dramatic pause.
But what happened later really cooked our goose.
Jim opened fire into a crowded parking lot.
Jim had practically run out of new ideas for ways of calling attention to himself in school.
It's sad that Centron
And so,
couldn't afford to light this
one
film.
night, with the help of some of his friends, he hatched up this plan that was really daring, even for him.
Do 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 do. What the hell is going on here?
People were pretty surprised, all right, when they came to school the next day. Jim and his helpers had created a sensation. The big sign was about all you could see.
Except for the
And it
massive
was
school
evident
behind
that
it.
someone was going to have a difficult and dangerous time getting it down. Some joke. Maybe some of the members of the junior class got a kick out of it, but some of the other classes didn't think it was funny at all. They thought it was an eyesore on the whole school. Our principal, I guess you know, was fit to be tied.
The hell are you talking about? He's
But
only
even
mildly
worse
annoyed.
was the way most of us in the class felt. That big sign, like a badge of dishonor for all the town to see. Yes, the word really got around.
Well, you can't
about
even
the
read it.
junior
I mean, is he
class.
asking a girl to prom? What?
And that's what made us mad. The word that got around wasn't a true picture of the junior class as a class at all. It left out the good things we did, the fine play we put on, the important things we learned, and all the studying we did.
The few people who didn't die from our homemade peanut brittle.
reputation belonged to Jim Brewster and the little gang around him, who still thought he was pretty funny.
That
After
Jim Brewster's
school that
hilarious.
afternoon, the principal called the officers of the junior class into a meeting. Several of our teachers were there.
Mostly those without any other place to be.
I'm afraid this class has put itself in a bad light. The stunt that was pulled last night has made it very embarrassing for the whole school, and for me personally. I've had several telephone calls from people who want to know what kind of a school we're running here. And frankly, I'd like to know myself.
Dental, legal, I mean.
What we want to know is what's behind all this.
There's nothing behind it, Mr. Scott. It's just a bunch of smart alecks showing off. There's nothing malicious about it.
Do you know who the ringleader is?
Have you now, or have you ever been associated with the Communist Party?
Do you, Kay?
I can make things difficult for you, Kay.
Yes, we know.
It doesn't take news like that very long to get around.
You could understand my problem, can't you? As far as the people outside of this school are concerned, I am responsible for what goes on here.
I'm the captain of the ship, and I'll steer us right into an iceberg before I let you people ruin me.
The class and the school, it's up to the other members of the class to do something about it.
Well, what can we do?
Have any of you ever
Yeah.
complained to these people?
It's a young
who
Paul
show off?
Simon.
Or do you really encourage them by thinking they're cute? Have you ever tried anything like ignoring them?
Like they ignore
Why do
me.
you suppose these people show off?
Don't they have enough to do?
You asked me what you could do. I think you class officers should get together and discuss this problem among yourselves and come up with your own suggestions. Then we'll meet here Wednesday afternoon and work this problem out together. Thank you all for coming.
Kay had the right idea. She named names.
Well, that's where we stand now. In a few minutes, our junior class officers are going to meet with the faculty committee. If you were in our shoes, what would you do about the show-offs? What do you think?
At the last minute, a compromise was reached. As an example to the entire student body, Jim was executed at a school assembly.
Hello? I must be going. I cannot stay. I came to say I must be going. I'm glad I came, but just the same, I must be going.